Hey there, everybody. Welcome into the NFL Rundown Week 8. Can you believe it? The NFL season is half over. Almost half over. What are we, 48% of the way through? Anywho, I'm Choppadong. I'm your buddy here at DFSArmy.com. One-stop shopping, all things daily fantasy sports. And I want to dive into our NFL Rundown research station, if you will. And we're going to try and dig through these quarterbacks here quickly and suss out the best of the best early in the week before everybody else starts compiling in their cheat sheets and everything. Sort of, I don't know, call it a first look, call it whatever you want to call it. We can do this earlier as soon as the research station is up, but that's the tool that I use, is the DFS Army Research Station. I knock out the evening games, leave myself only the main slate games. I'm actually going to shrink this down just a smidge more so that we can fit a few more guys in here. And when it comes to quarterbacks, you hear me mention it all the time. We're looking for, if we can, the best of a list of home, favored, implied to score points, efficiency, etc. And really and truly, we can usually find some decent options in that list. Which one's the best? I don't know. They are historically all set up to perform. We just have to figure out who's going to do it. You can look this time of year, you can start looking a lot more into DVP, points allowed to the position, etc., to help tip you off. Now, if you haven't looked back through, I think it's a VIP only article or video that I just did earlier this week showing you how to select those cash safe plays using the Domination Station Optimizer and using ownership projections. You kind of running within the herd. This is going to already pin us onto a couple of those quarterbacks. We just need to wait for some projections to update and whatnot to really narrow it down to the one or two that we might be picking for, cash game purposes. But these are just the guys that are set up already to hit value. I take the spread, I sort it by ascending to bring the big spreads up top. Of course, Patrick Mahomes is going to be up there. You know, that big spread oftentimes scares people into thinking that, well, he won't really be used because they'll be grinding the clock late up 2 or 3 scores. And while that might be true, he also had to get there, right? He usually gets there by throwing for a few touchdowns. So while he might not have a ceiling game, his floor should still be substantially higher than in a tougher matchup where he might be facing a tougher defense. Now, looking at what I want for implied scores, I will sometimes take a filter and put it on our implied team total at about 23.5. The reason why is just to get it to the 24s and above, because that's the historical number. These days, the games are scoring more points. You might even need to get 25 or 26. I'll leave that to you. I'm looking for even higher total games with closer spreads, indicate shootouts. There's all these little things that you can run through there. But as long as you're thinking primarily about who's at home, that's the yellow quarterbacks. Who's favored? That's everyone above about Baker Mayfield. Who's implied to score over 24 points? That we could even include a little Josh Allen at 23.8. So let's just say all of these guys here. They check all 3 of those boxes. These guys down here are underdogs. So even if they're at 25 points like a Jimmy Garoppolo or even a Derek Carr, they may have great weeks. But historically, they're not set up quite like as if they were at home. People tend to play a little bit better at home, especially when there's fans in the stands. They're usually trying to fight for their community, fight for the home team, try harder to win that game, etc. And that's going to lead towards not giving up as quickly and all of those sorts of things. That's why that home team factor kind of creates a tiebreaker situation. Last week we had a scenario where we didn't have anybody at home that we really, really liked. So what we're looking for is hopefully some of these guys at home. Mahomes would be great. Aaron Rodgers back at home probably be great. We need to kind of look at the weather here because from what I understand, there's forecast of wind, like 40-mile-an-hour wind in Green Bay and Minnesota. And if that's the case, that is going to detract from Aaron Jones. Even though he's set up in the right scenario, we still need to use our heads and know when to deviate from what the situation is telling us. 40-mile-an-hour winds are going to be a lot of airing it out 30 and 40 yards down the field because, you might throw it into the stands on accident. Should be a lot of running in that game if that's what the weather ends up doing. So stay tuned to the forecast, the DFS weather channel in DFSArmy.com because that's where you're going to get the information that's going to put you off or on this type of a game. Seattle, obviously, Russell Wilson's shootout potential all the time. Lamar Jackson's at home favorite implied to score. Hasn't been as good all year. Why? He hasn't been as efficient. That's all. Everybody seems to think that what's wrong. These things still bear out. If we went to the QBR over at ESPN.com or something, you would find Lamar Jackson might not be in the top 10 of efficient quarterbacks this year. And that's telling, because that would automatically be a check mark against him. Buffalo, Josh Allen runs quite a bit. Baker Mayfield, I guess. I don't think you're going to take him over some of these guys. So let's just presume, let's maybe narrow it down just a touch more and look at quarterback points allowed. So we've got Aaron Rodgers, and Minnesota's allowing a quarterback. I hope the wind is down. Down here, Herbert, whatever. These guys are in a little bit tougher matchups. And come down, Baker Mayfield's in a pretty soft matchup. So now, whereas maybe you're saying I might not take him over those guys, they're all at home. They're all implied to score points. They're all favored. You might say, well, okay. They might have to throw a little bit. They might be targeting the passing game because Las Vegas is not very good against the pass. These are situations that, again, you get to walk through and sort of determine whether or not you like them or not. Looking over at FanDuel salaries or DraftKings salaries, either one, we've got Mahomes and Rodgers. See the significant price drop there? That 20-point spread might have me thinking I'd rather take a Rodgers, certainly a Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson might be in more of a ceiling type of game than Patrick Mahomes, being that they're supposed to just run away with the win. If for some reason the New York Jets can put up a fight, then maybe we're a little bit different situation. But I would save the $500 most likely. I might take a Josh Allen, $8,200 here, a little $500 more savings. Justin Herbert is popular, but he's on the road. Again, if you think that it's worth it to take that chance against all of these other guys, then by all means go for it. But I see not at home, and then I see favored implied to score points. I would still rather take somebody favored implied to score points that is also at home. I would tend to pay up for that a little bit myself. 7,200 for Baker Mayfield, and then down here into the also-rans. Again, nothing too terribly attractive right now, but this is the general idea of where we're going. This is who I would put on my list to be looking for. Mahomes, Rodgers, Wilson, maybe Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, maybe Herbert, maybe Baker Mayfield, honestly. But that gives me 5 or 6 to choose from. A couple of these guys are going to hit value, and a couple of them are going to surprise us and have bad games. That's every week. So I like to build 4 or 5 different lineups, and then I'm going to have, I'm leaning right now towards a Russell Wilson type of situation, but I'm not going to have him in, say, 5 lineups. I'm not going to have him in 4 of them. I'm going to have him in 2 or 3 because I like him, and then I'm going to spread it out. Maybe take a Mahomes, maybe take a Rodgers, maybe take a Herbert, maybe take an Allen, whatever. That's largely the way I build my lineups. And if you like that methodology, then you need to come inside and you need to talk to me at dfsarmy.com because we can help put you on that right track, on that winning track, and then show you the tricks of the trade that I can't show you in these little 10-minute videos that will also help build your game and make you a better DFS player. I can get you started, but our other coaches can finish you off. And obviously, I can generate the communication or facilitate the communication between the two, and even facilitate or even kind of bridge that gap on occasion and get you in there. But you've got to do it by becoming a VIP. While you're down there in the comments section, clicking that link to become a VIP, remember to use that coupon code CHOP, CHOP, and also click the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. So I do appreciate it, everybody. I'll be back with running backs and wide receivers and such for my VIPs, but I wanted to at least let this one sit out there first. In under 10 minutes, we've already sussed out the quarterback slate. And yes, we've missed a couple, but we've really hit on the ones that historically bring back value, because that's really all we're after right now is historically bringing back value, giving us a good list of 3 to 5 quarterbacks every single week that we can then pick from the best of the best, and know that we've given ourselves a great chance to start building a great lineup. That's all it is. See y'all later.